Hi, yeah, I'm here to talk about my mum Joyce. She's an alcoholic and she's been drinking for the past 3 years. She started drinking when my dad died as a way to sort of deal with deal with him not being there anymore and being on her own. Um, she can be very stubborn at times, really awkward, quite short-tempered, but she's my mum and I love her. Um, we all live together. There's me, there's my wife Karen, our three children, and then in January Mum came to live with us, which was great to begin with. It was lovely to have Mum there. Nice for the kids to have Grandma there all the time, and nice for me and Karen as well. But unfortunately, a few weeks later, Mum started getting very short-tempered, very angry all of a sudden, which all culminated one evening when I asked her what she wanted for tea, and she ended up hitting me, which was so unlike Mum at all. She just seemed very agitated as well. Um, we decided something needed to be done there and then, really, so me and Karen decided that we were going to phone the GP and get somebody to see her as soon as possible. Mum wasn't happy about that. She thought that all our problems needed to stay within the family. But like I said, we decided was enough really, and we needed to get this sorted. So we went to the GP, who was great. The doctor was absolutely fabulous. And we don't know why we didn't go earlier, in all fairness. The doctor spoke to my mum, but unfortunately Mum was just very normal with the doctor, and just like she normally is. Luckily we had footage on Karen's mobile that we could show the doctor of when she's acting up and being at her worst. The doctor thought she might have some sort of infection that's causing her to be angry and quite short-tempered. He said he thought it might be something called delirium. So he tested her for infection, but there was no infection found. They looked for chest infection, there was nothing there. They checked her temperature and she seemed absolutely fine. But the one thing she couldn't do was pass water on the day, because they wanted to check for a water infection, but she couldn't go to the toilet, unfortunately. The doctor said that he still thought it was some sort of delirium, and he wanted to speak to the team at Right Care Barnsley to see what they wanted to do and how they wanted to progress with it further. Anyway, it all happened really quickly, actually. The nurse from Right Care Barnsley got in touch and with the doctor, and the doctor in turn got in touch with us, saying that they thought that a social worker needed to be brought in, and a psychiatrist as well. We were obviously a little bit shocked at the word psychiatrist, but we decided to go along with it. Mum went to the psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist asked her lots of questions, and really listened to her and listened to me and Karen as well. But I thought it was nice how she listened to me mum, even though my mum wasn't making a lot of sense at the time. Previously the doctor had tested her for dementia as well, done lots of questions, things like what day is it and who's the Prime Minister, things like that. And she did really well, actually. She got 8 out of 10 right, probably even better than I would have done under the circumstances. But the psychiatrist wanted to sort of delve a little deeper, and sort of did lots of tests on her and stuff. The only thing she thought it could be was an infection again, probably a water infection, she thought, because of the fact that Mum was unable to pass water on the previous visit to the GP. So they decided that hospital was not the right answer. Putting her in hospital wouldn't have been helpful at all, because the last thing she needed was to be in a hospital. After all, she wasn't ill, she just had an infection. She needed some antibiotics to clear her off. And we thought as well, putting her in a hospital would just lead her to be more anxious and more unnervy, and when all she really needed was some peace and quiet. Both me and Karen were absolutely thrilled by the way that the GPs and the psychiatrists and the social workers and everybody was looked after and told what was going on and liaised through under the team at Right Care Barnsley. It was a really good experience for us, how well managed it actually was. We decided to put, well, the team decided that Mum wanted was in best place to go into a home for a little bit of respite care. So a home was found just round the corner from our house, really, which was great because we could call in on his way to and from work and pop in and out every day. And Mum got better and better. The staff were great there. They knew how to deal with it before the water infection cleared up and after the water infection as well. And a couple of weeks later, we got Mum home as good as new and back to her old self. So it was, we were really, really thankful that had been put in place. The team at Right Care Barnsley had done a great job, we thought. And we're just hopeful that together we can move back and get our lives back as a family.